If anyone wants to be a follower of mine, let him renounce himself and take up his cross and follow me. When my mom was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer in 2007, she was given 2 prayer cards that radically changed her perspective on her cancer diagnosis. One was a prayer from Our Lady of Guadalupe, spoken to Juan Diego about Our Lady's love for Juan Diego and for all of us. And the other prayer was titled, Your Cross, by St. Francis de Sales. Before I read this prayer for you, I'd like you to consider what your cross might be. It might be something physical, as my mom had a cross given to her when she was diagnosed with cancer. It could be something emotional, maybe depression, or a whole list of other issues that could be nagging you all the time. Could be something spiritual, feeling abandoned by God, feeling rejected, feeling like God doesn't love you. Could be something relational, like unanswered prayers or a real difficult family. You just have a real cross of a family. All of us have crosses that come into our lives all the time. Now, our common reaction to the cross is that we try to escape from it. We try to run away from the cross. And what happens when we run away from these crosses is either we just drag the cross along and we create a whole bunch of problems. We drag this cross, it makes a whole bunch of noise, it starts bothering other people. We drag our cross and it causes us splinters, starts to annoy us, and we start to annoy other people. That's often how we react to the cross that we can have. We just want to run away from it, and the cross becomes heavy. It becomes something that we just drag along. St. Francis de Sales, this is what he says about the cross. And I invite you all to take a different approach to the crosses in your life. St. Francis de Sales says, the everlasting God, in his wisdom, foreseen from all eternity the cross that he now presents to you as a gift from his inmost heart. This cross he now sends you as he is considered with his all-knowing eyes, understood with his divine mind, tested with his wise justice, warmed with his loving arms, and weighed with his own hands, to see that it be not 1 inch too large and not 1 ounce too heavy for you. He has blessed it with his holy name, anointed it with his consolation, taken one last glance at you and your courage, and then sent it to you from heaven, a special greeting from God to you, an alms of the all-merciful love of God. St. Francis de Sales invites us to, rather than run away from the crosses that come to us, to embrace the cross. To consider it as a loving gift from God. And that might seem impossible for some of you, but I invite you to a different approach. There's a reason Jesus, who is perfect love, says to take up our cross today. God is always perfect love. And so if he tells us, take up your cross, embrace your cross, there's got to be some good reason for it. And far too often we just drag the cross, we try to run away from the cross, And it just creates a whole bunch of problems for ourselves and for other people. St. John Vianney said, as soon as he started praying for a love of the cross, it changed everything in his life. I think the same thing can happen for us too. We need to pray for this gift that whatever crosses come into our life, we will learn to love them, to embrace them as a gift from God. And maybe one day we'll realize that the things we most wanted to avoid in our life become actually the greatest gift God's ever given us.